Wow.
I know.
Does my hair look okay?
Yeah, but I really don't think you should go for that centre parting again.
No, I shouldn't do, should I? Hello, viewers. Welcome to Full Record Jacket with me, Phil, and he, Ben. We are doing something that's bound to have brought viewers to this channel because we put John Lennon in the title for a bit of clickbait. Well, no, it's not clickbait because we are genuinely going to talk about John Lennon. So
JL.
Doesn't.
I was going to do this whole show using the power of mime as well, so
that would be interesting.
That because I realised I couldn't mime John Lennon, really.
He'd probably have approved of that, wouldn't he? That we're going to do a discussion on him and one person would be doing it in mime. He'd probably have gone for that, I reckon.
Yeah.
But there are no John Lennon anniversaries at the moment. I mean, he was born in October.
1940.
Born in October, died in December. I don't think there's any record
he was
anniversaries.
2 months old.
There's no Beatle related anniversaries or anything. So there's absolutely no reason to talk about John Lennon other than the other day I just stumbled upon this. Well, I had it for ages, but I've rediscovered it. And that is the John Lennon anthology. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do remember that, yeah. Didn't that come out late 90s?
It did. Now, this was a project where Sean was still a bit young at that time. He wasn't involved, but so it was Yoko was in charge of this project. And this
was it late 90s?
It was. I think it was 98. And they called it
Sean Lennon would have released his first album then as well.
Was he? Oh, yeah, okay. So he was adult by then, wasn't he? Of course,
yeah.
Maybe not quite as involved in the archive stuff, probably helping a little bit, but not as responsible as he is now. But anyway, this is called the John Lennon Anthology. It says Anthology.
Yeah. I think I did try. I don't think it got released on vinyl, did it? I
don't think it did.
On CD.
You can't stream this either at the moment.
No,
it's not on any. I don't think it's on any streaming platform. Certainly not on Spotify or Amazon. Now, this is a 4-disc set, and this is kind of like, this was kind of like it was kind of Yoko's answer to the Beatles anthology, because it follows a similar format in that there's a load of alternate versions and outtakes on here. So it's quite a nicely presented box, and inside you've got 4 CDs.
Oh, I like that.
And a book. Okay, so you've got a nice book. Which is titled Book. Yeah, nice. See, Book. And they've all got these cartoons, which are obviously drawn by him, some of his doodles. And then you get this nice book in here. You pull out the book. Here we go. Book pulls out. And then it's a quite interesting booklet with a lot of information and pictures John and Yoko in there.
Yeah, that iconic picture on the back.
So they've put it into 4 discs, so all the discs have similar kind of artwork on them, and photos from the particular period. Okay, so that's the Dakota one. So what they did, they split his solo career into 4 periods. So you've got ASCOT, which is 1970-71 when he was recording at his mainly in his studio in Ascot, Berkshire. New York City.
Around the time that documentary came out. Remember the documentary? Was it for the Lennon, not Lennon Legend? What was
it was. That may have been earlier, I think, maybe. But so disc 2 is New York City, so that's obviously 1972. So there's 74. Stuff on there. So it basically covers the Sometime in New York City period and Mind Games album. And then you've got The Lost Weekend, which is basically the
mid-70s, wasn't it?
Walls and Bridges and Rock and Roll. And then finally, you've got Dakota, which is obviously the stuff that he was doing right at the end of his
So like life. Double Fancy, Milk and Honey, all that sort of...
All that stuff, Woman, Watching the Wheels, all that. Right. So it made me think, if we extend this into the Beatles as well, we could ask our viewers this question. So I was thinking, and I wrote it down actually, I've changed those eras a teeny bit and I've brought the Beatles into it as well. And what I've said is, what's your favourite period of John Lennon as a songwriter? Okay, so I've split it into 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah, I've just
5,
brought the list up
6.
here.
I've brought it into 6 periods, okay? And I've written down some highlight songs from these 6 periods, just to remind you. So the first one I've called mid-Beatles. So 64 and 1964 and 1965. So A Hard Day's
Night. Got some of my favourite tracks in.
So it's basically what the stuff that John wrote for the Beatles for A Hard Day's Night, Help, and Beatles for Sale, and Rubber Soul.
Ticket to Ride is one of my favourite Beatles tracks, and so is In My Life as well.
Yeah, and
I think that kicked off the Beatles anthology, didn't it, on the TV show, wasn't it?
In My Life was, yes, pictures of Liverpool and
yeah. But then, this is possibly one of the hardest questions you've ever asked me, to be fair.
So there's that period. Other highlights from that period would include, for me anyway, I'll Be Back, No Reply, Help, of course, Norwegian Wood.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next period is what I'm calling the psychedelic period.
Yeah.
Because, as we all know, he was imbibing certain things during this time. So a big creative period. Tomorrow Never Knows. She Said, She Said. It's basically Revolver Sergeant Pepper Magical Mystery Tour. So
which I think is my favourite period, I think.
I'm Only Sleeping, Rain, Strawberry Fields Forever, Day in the Life.
Yeah.
I Am the Walrus.
Yes.
Etc. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Lucy in the Sky.
So the next period, I'm calling it. This is the later Beatles period. I'm just calling it back.
When he got back to his bluesy sort of.
I'm calling it back to basics. We call it what you like. It's 1968 to 69, so it's basically the White Album.
Yeah.
The last 3 Beatles albums. So, Hey Bulldog.
Yeah.
Happiness is a Warm Gun.
Yeah.
Julia, Yer Blues, Revolution.
Prudence.
Come Together. I've stuck Cold Turkey in there as well because it's the same period for him.
Yeah. I
Want You, She's So Heavy.
You're not putting any of the Two Virgins stuff in there?
Oddly enough, I didn't. They didn't quite make the grade. So that's the third period.
Third period, yeah.
So
fourth period is Double Science.
We'll post this in the description below because you'll never remember this, will you?
Yeah.
Next period I'm calling, same as this box set, ASCOT. So it's 1970 to 1. So Instant Karma, God, Mother, all of that Plastic Ono band, Working Class Hero, Oh My Love, and then of course the Imagine album, Imagine, Yoko, I Don't Want to Be a Soldier, and everything else that's on Imagine.
Oh,
so there's that period. It's a pretty strong period as well, isn't it? So it's
pretty,
Now the next one, I've combined the two together, so I'm calling this New York and the Lost Weekend. So this is 72 to 74.
Could have called it the Lost New York Weekend.
I could have called it the Lost New York Weekend. That would have been even wittier, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm here for, Phil. It's what you pay me the big bucks for, you see.
So
actually, I haven't been paid yet.
Songs like Sunday Bloody Sunday, Mind Games, Intuition, Meat City, Out of the Blue, Steel and Glass, Scared, and Number 9 Dream.
Yeah.
So, that's all good stuff as well. So, finally, period 6, Dakota, 1980. Yeah. And let's just remember some of those songs. Watching the Wheels.
Yeah.
Woman. Nobody Told Me. I'm Stepping Out. Just Like Starting Over. I'm Losing You.
So that's a good period.
Beautiful Boy, Darling Boy. I think it is. So, there you go. What's your favourite of those, folks? I mean, what can you make sense of that, Ben? What do you reckon?
If I was to look at... when you first sent me this, I thought, well, the Dakota period is going to be like bottom of my list. But there's some really good. It's like choosing puppy. It's like choosing which puppy you're going to sell, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would probably say out of would probably say that 66 to 67 is going to be my. But then the Back to Basics. I'm going to go with
really
the psychedelic. Yes, yeah. I'm going to, because also if you look at the early period, like sort of early mid-Beatles period, "Ticket to Ride" is one of the greatest songs ever written. "In My Life," "Norwegian Wood," "You've Got to Hide Your Love Away." I love that song. I really love the Noel Gallagher and Burt Bacharach version of it as well. But I just think for consistency, then again, some people don't like that sort of Tibetan Book of the Dead period, but I do like the psychedelic period. But I really do like it when he sort of revisited got back to the blues, as it were, with "Come Together," "Cold Turkey," "Revolution," "Yer Blues," that sort of period as well. And I'm probably leaning more towards them because I am more of a Beatles fan than I am a John Lennon solo fan. So they probably perk my interest more. But then that Lost Weekend period, this sort of disco, whatever gets you through the night, and, Meat City. But I would probably go for those two periods during the Beatles, but I'll probably go for the psychedelic period. It will be that would be the one I'd go to first. And I think the Dakota period would probably be mid-table somewhere, which is really odd because I thought that would be nearer the bottom for me. But yeah, I'm going to go, if I was to put, oh God, this is hard. I'm going to go the psychedelic period, then Back to Basics, then mid-Beatles, then Dakota, then Ascot, then New York Lost Weekend. That's my order for those periods.
Right. Let me write this down then. So, Ben, what have you got? Do it again.
I'm going psychedelic first.
Yeah.
I think that's a pit. Then Back to Basics.
Yeah.
And I'm going to swap around Dakota because then I'm going to go mid-Beatles. Simple fact, it's got "In My Life," "Ticket to Ride." I'm then going to go Dakota.
Yeah.
Then Ascot. Then New York Lost Weekend.
Oof. It's a tough one, isn't it?
It is tough. It is really tough. That Beatles period is always going to be near the top because they're the songs I associate the most with him, you see. So
it's really hard.
In fact, just give me 1 second, Phil, because you know how much of a massive child I am.
Yeah.
Well, 1 second. As soon as we're talking about John Lennon, give me a sec. I'll be back.
Are you going to turn into him? Well, Ben has gone to do something completely unscripted. I genuinely have no idea what he's going to do. Not that that's any different to normal.
I am back, Philster. Oh, look what I have here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We have got psychedelic John Lennon.
That's kind of Revolver John Lennon, is it, that one? Yeah. Oh, that's Sergeant Pepper John. So they're both psychedelic John Lennon.
Yeah.
Those, yeah. Oh, that's New York, isn't it? That's 70, early 70s, 72, something like that, yeah. That's, I don't know when that is.
Later, John. No, when he was doing the Dick, what's his name show?
The Dick Cavett show. That was all around like 74, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, because he's got his little army.
Or was that more 72 when he was wearing his army thing?
Yeah,
maybe that's 72.
And then we have.
Oh, that's more mid-70s, isn't it?
Yeah, how good are they? Well, my little John Lennon's. Because I am a massive child, I bought these because I am basically a 12-year-old in a 45-year-old body.
But none of those is the mid-Beatles period.
There is no because you can't get mid-Beatles, or you can't get you can't even get an early Beatles period one of these, which you would have thought they would have. Now, John Lennon is the only one of these pop figures what sort of goes this bit later. The Paul McCartney ones are all sort of this period, same with George Harrison and Ringo Starr. But there's no early Beatles ones. So, yeah, so since we're talking about John Lennon, I thought I'd bring John Lennon to the party.
And I'm trying to think which order I would put these in, and I'm finding this really difficult. I'm thinking I might put Dakota a bit higher.
Why don't you ask John Lennon?
John, where should I put you?
At the top. I like to get out. Oh, is that Mank? Chicken. He's got our little. Anyway, I'm not going to try and do a John Lennon impression.
I'm just looking at these lists and thinking it's really hard, you know.
It is really hard. I just went with my gut. Go with your gut feel. Bang, 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 bang. Actually, probably not the greatest use of phrase of words to use while talking about John Lennon is bang, 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 bang.
Maybe not. I think I might go with, I don't know, I might go with the back to basics above psychedelic, but that's not to say that I don't really like all the psychedelic stuff.
Yeah, I don't think this is a case of whatever one comes at the bottom is the worst. I think it's just a case of you prefer a certain period more than you do another, isn't it?
Yeah, and I must admit I do really like the early 70s period as well. Oof, I'm going to put or do I put the Beatles early stuff as well? Oh, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Back to Basics, the late 60s at the top.
And it's at this point Phil realised he'd
messed it all up. Then I'm going to put the mid-Beatles, or, that sort of early to mid-Beatles.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to put... I have to choose between the psychedelic and the early 70s. That's quite hard.
You've got two nephews, haven't you, Phil?
Yeah.
It's like picking your favourite one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's difficult. I'm going to put right now. If I was going to listen to it right now, I'd put ASCOT next, but that doesn't mean I don't like the psychedelic Beatles. But I'm going to then put Dakota. Then I'm going to put psychedelic. This may be completely right. I don't know. And then I'm going to put at the bottom. I'm going to put the New York.
So we've both gone for that.
Although period. I do like the New York and Last Weekend period. There's just great stuff in all these periods, isn't there?
There is.
So what have we got in common? We both put Dakota at number 4.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
And the last one, New York Weekend.
We put New York at the bottom. Yeah. Well, I could move these depending on what mood I'm in, but that's just the mood I'm in at the moment.
Or whichever child brings you the best Christmas present.
Exactly.
Determines which one's going to be your favourite.
There you go, folks. Which is your favourite period for John Lennon as a songwriter? Is there any? Can you come up with a reasoning as to why one is better than the other? Are we overrating or underrating some of these periods? It's difficult to compare the Beatles to a solo career because you've got to put all the other songs. You've got to put the Paul and George songs out of your mind, haven't you? And you've got to also, obviously, they contribute to these songs, So it's difficult to completely remove them. But yeah, when exactly is that? I think that's the very early part of him being in New York, wasn't it? Wasn't that when he was 72?
Wasn't this around time he did the Live in New York?
Sometime in New York City album.
Yeah,
and him and Yoko were being a bit political.
He was on the Dick Cavett show wearing that. Now let's have a look.
I think you're right. You're right. He was for sure. That there is an interview where he's wearing that outfit.
He's still alive as well, Dick Cavett. Oh, he was up until recently. Let's have a look. So that would have been John Lennon, Dick Cavett show. So that was. So yeah, here we go. Then there he is there. You can see
that's
him.
The one.
He's
When
got
was
it.
that? That
He's
was
got it on
September 71. Okay.
71. So that's quite early. And let's compare the two. Let's have a look. Cause look at that. It's even got. I didn't realise it's actually got. See the little star on the top there.
That must have been when they first arrived in New York quite early. I can't remember exactly when they went now, but
so they're fair to the manufacturers of these. They've actually got the clothing quite accurate. So that's a 71.
What's the other
Lennon.
70s one? What's the other 70s one?
This is a
Not
70s
the
one, isn't it?
Yeah, there's that one, but there was another one.
This one.
Yeah, now when exactly is that supposed to be?
I tell you what.
That seems to be about the same period to me.
Yeah, I think it is as well.
That's like
there's
72.
There's a little thing on his badge here. What does that say? Something. This. Like to. 1 second. Let's have a look, Phil. So let's see if I can find what.
It's around
period.
the time that he was fighting extradition.
Extradition, yeah. Let's have a look. If I take a picture of it, it might take me to.
Well, is there an app that identifies periods of John Lennon from plastic models?
Oh, I didn't realise, but you can actually get this one in black and white as well. So that might be another purchase for me at some point. It doesn't tell you the year. I'm just saying if there's any. I've still got the boxes upstairs.
Have they not done a White Album stroke Let It Be period John, Get Back period John with long hair and the round glasses? They've not done one of those.
No. Well, they might have released some since, but I haven't.
That's the only other iconic look I can think of that's not, apart from the early Beatles, that's not on there.
John Lennon.
This is the most important thing to debate in music, isn't it, really, folks? The year depicted by a plastic model of
John Lennon.
Yeah, I mean, what more could you want to discuss?
What more could you? I will find out what period of John Lennon this is. I think this is 74. Is it?
I think that's. I have seen a picture of him dressed like that, and I can't remember what year that is from. But I think, 74, he was in Los Angeles a lot, wasn't he? But then did he go back to New York?
I found him with that
72?
That hat on.
Is it whether
it's a blue one or not? There's this one here where he's got a similar hat on, which looks around 1980, but it's a leather coat he's got on there.
Maybe it's supposed to be that period, because maybe the one with the what's the other one that's supposed to be from the Dakota period?
The other two, the psychedelic ones. You've got this one, haven't you?
I think that might be mid-70s.
Yeah,
I think the one you've just shown me, I think, might be the later one. I think the one you just showed me might be when he was in living at the Dakota building.
I know this is. Let's have a look. I want to know when
we're doing this.
I know. New York T-shirt. Let's see when he wore this thing.
Hang on. I'm just going to look at the photos in this. You see, this is a photo from. It's that, isn't it?
Yeah, that does look a. There is something. Oh God, we're discussing funk. See, he's got a little badge on his lapel there.
What does it say on the badge?
I don't know. It's too small for my beady little eyes to make out. So
does it say "I love NY"?
No, let's have a.
I think that might be the Lost Weekend, because this is a picture. This is a Lost Weekend picture of him with Harry Nilsson playing pool. Look.
Oh yeah. So I wonder if it's around that sort
Nilsson,
of period.
And that's him. So is it supposed to be then?
Yeah, it could be around then. We have literally taken up more time discussing
the plastic
figurines than we have
the actual music
of John Lennon, and that's the kind of rabbit hole that we like to go down.
That's where we like to go.
1974 is that one there, according to what I've just seen. Is this one?
So that's 74. So that was around the time of that was when he went back to New York and did Walls and Bridges.
Bridges, yeah.
Okay.
So there we go. So we've answered that question anyway.
We have.
Now we've just got the questions of where would other people rank their
where would you rank
John
it,
Lennon
folks?
period?
That's our 20 minutes on John Lennon. Let us know what you think. Tell us your views. And if you've got any plastic models of John Lennon that Ben hasn't got, you can make him very jealous indeed. Thanks for watching. All the best.